What's up and welcome back to another video, and guys, I need to be 100% transparent with you all. Borderlands is dying. Now I'm sure a lot of you are all looking at that title and you're thinking, well, yeah, it's been dying for the last half a decade, you fucking
Could someone who's alive, could they just take that? Why is it still coming? That's its heart, its lungs. Why is it still coming? Say enough! Hey, you right, man. That is enough.
So, it's been a minute since you've all seen me, but Gearbox's announcement yesterday forced me to make this video, as I already know a lot of the corporate goon YouTubers aren't going to be discussing this today. But the Gearbox Twitter account decided to tweet out the newest project, which is Borderlands Land of the Giants, a Borderlands comic book in 2024.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Now, let me just read what this is all about according to the brief description that was given. And the first half here is just a bunch of nonsense, but the biggest takeaway is that the main writer is Paul Tobin, and then it goes on to list a bunch of the projects that he's had his name on. And I'm just sitting here skimming through and I see a couple different Plants vs. Zombies games. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I've only played the first one, but I don't remember the story being a big part of the Plants vs. Zombies franchise. Alright, and the description reads, past Borderlands universe graphic novels have sold out almost immediately and became highly sought after collector items, said Sean Heron, the chief business officer at Gearbox Entertainment. The quality of the story, art, and inspiration in the new comic is unparalleled. We can't wait for our community to get their hands on the newest Tiny Tina's adventure. Of Bunker Master, Tiny Tina gathered together Frey, Valentine, and Hammerlock for a new adventure in Wonderlands. Skirmish the Bogbarian, Crasher the Stabomancer, and Blastine the Deadshot must all fight, flee, and commit heinous acts of awesomeness as they hunt down a bounty on the giant Hilly the Kid, featuring Claptrap and a horde of familiar faces from the Borderlands universe. Readers can cheer on every badass moment, and now shut up and roll for initiative, suckers. Now, before some of you get to smashing up your keyboards like, oh my god, Hellfire, you were hating on this franchise again. This is like the 397th video that you've made hating on the Borderlands series, and I just can't take it anymore. I love Borderlands 3 so much that I'm about to cry. Nope. I'm simply here to give you the rundown of what is happening to the Borderlands franchise, with a new project announced yesterday, which will be releasing this summer on August 16th. It had to be discussed here today, and now I just want to say this. I think that a comic does lend itself a lot better to Borderlands than a novel, which is literally just words. Which, come on now, words are turds. And I think it's safe to say that there's maybe 10 people on this entire planet that actually care about this comic. But hey, you do you, Gearbox. With this being the first huge announcement since 2K has acquired Gearbox, I want to say what realistically this is going to do for the franchise and what it means. And then we will get to what I think. Right out the gate, I just want to say no, this book doesn't put the nail in the coffin, and it's not going to be bad enough to just kill the entire series. But then why did I title this video Borderlands Is Dying? Well, we already know that Gearbox is trying their hardest to get BL4 finished so that they can talk to us about it. But with us being this deep into the year without a peep from Gearbox, I don't see the game coming out anytime soon, especially now with this new Land of the Giants book. That is now the 4th confirmed Borderlands piece of content that we will see this year, as we already have talked about the Borderlands movie, which saw its trailer released a little over a month ago, and that also comes out on August 9th, meaning we've got 2 huge turds dropping out of the seething asshole that is Gearbox that month. Let's go, man, we are eating as Borderlands fans. Really, man, are you fucking kidding me? This is epic. Yeah, man. Borderlands, it's never been better. Really. How can anybody sit there and believe this bullshit? And then at some point, we're also going to see Echo Vision Live, which I don't really need to talk about again. In short, it's just a stupid Facebook Live interactive game where the community has to make decisions together, kind of like the Telltale Borderlands games. And that is the final Borderlands project that we've got ahead of us. So, to all of those idiots that see my videos as just blind hate or whatever the case may be, I have a question for you. How pumped are you for this movie? How about the novel? Echo Vision Live? You mean, are you jumping up and down for that? Or even this new stupid ass comic book, because that's the Borderlands IP in 2024. This is really where we are at. The lack of care and love for this franchise makes me sick. Instead of just focusing on what fans actually want and care about, they're just milking any sequel opportunity that they can come up with. Wonderlands 2 being in the pipeline, that novel continuing the story of the Tales characters. It's all so split up and all over the place. I don't know how they expect anybody to know what the hell is going on when it appears that Gearbox themselves don't even know what the hell they're doing. Other than the movie, which has faced development hell for over a decade, all of these projects have come out of their ass to try and capitalize on the dwindling popularity of Borderlands. And while yeah, the active player counts for these old games could be worse, they're definitely far from the once large player count and overall appeal that they once had. Borderlands is one of the most lackluster AAA franchises of all time. And as a massive fan of the early installments, it pains me to say this. Coming from somebody who loved the Dead Rising franchise, Gears of War, and the early Assassin's Creed games, all of these franchises have one thing in common. The further they went on, the further money was taken into account, and the amount of products released, mediocre or not, also increased, alongside this drive for more profit, which is so blatantly obvious to most gamers that a lot of these series that we loved in the 2010s are now vanishing from the limelight. And while everything has their heyday and nothing great lasts forever, I certainly didn't see the fate of the Borderlands franchise turning out the way that it did back in 2014. With BL2 finishing up its life cycle back then, and the pre-sequel getting released, it was one of the hottest franchises going. Then Borderlands saw its real first competition in Destiny, and it's just never really been the same. And this is coming from somebody who can't stand Destiny, by the way. I don't like the business model behind it, the gameplay loop, the characters, the lore. None of it is for me, but I can't deny that ever since that competition reared its ugly head, Borderlands has begun to fade into the background for most gamers. While some of us longtime fans will still hold out a little hope, it's safe to say that with this comic book on the way, Gearbox is only hoping to get one thing from us: more money. And with consumers getting smarter, I'm curious to see what all of these new projects are going to do for the company, because as it sits, Borderlands is dying. Not just a fast death either, a slow and miserable one. While it's not too far gone and it's still easily salvageable, the drought of content and the turmoil within the community has severely damaged the Borderlands name. So much to the point that now when fans see anything about Borderlands, instead of getting excited, they just groan. But what do you guys think about this new Wonderlands comic book? Do you think that Borderlands is dying? Because as it stands, I don't see a lot of people getting excited for this film, these books, or a Facebook live show. Because with no BL4, it looks to be yet another year of playing the same games again. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I really do hope that you all did enjoy today's video, and if you did, make sure to smash a like on it and subscribe if you guys are new. Give me a follow on Twitter as well if you haven't yet, but most importantly, remember that I love you all to death. I want you to take it easy out there, stay safe, and with that, I will see you all in the next one.